Hegseth clashed with President Trump over the munition shortage that threatens the U.S. military operation in Iran. According to the Post, Trump vented at Hegseth, saying he thought the munitions issue had been fixed. They cite two people familiar with the exchange. Hegseth reportedly blamed his deputy at the Pentagon. The Post reports the exchange underscored Trump's increasing frustration with his defense secretary, who was one of the biggest early advocates for taking military action against Iran, convincing Trump it would be a quick and relatively easy win, according to multiple officials.
Well, I mean, we want missiles too. You know, when Biden gave him so much, Biden gave $300 billion worth of ammunition. You know, when I left, it was full, and he gave a lot of it away. Now we're rebuilding it, and we're using munitions that are very powerful, very good, but we wouldn't have been using them. We could have used something else. But these are a little bit older type, equally as effective, and it's things that we have so much. Plus, we have supplies of munitions all over the world that if we ever needed them, we'd take that. We're supplied all over the world, but we're in very, very good shape.
Donald Trump's trying desperately to control the war narrative, and nothing says desperate more than the president calling a fake news report treasonous. I'm still trying to understand why it would be treason if it's a non-story as he claims it to be. But anyway, according to NBC, Deputy Defense Secretary Stephen Feinberg urgently assembled senior military and defense acquisition officials for what multiple sources described as a, quote, crisis meeting after receiving an angry phone call from Trump. Trump had reportedly been discussing the Iran war at Camp David when the issue of depleted American munitions came up. And according to four people familiar with what happened, the president was absolutely furious. He's said to have demanded to know why critical US weapons stockpiles remained depleted and what the Pentagon was doing to fix the problem. Two sources said that Trump even suggested Feinberg should be fired. Now, the White House and Pentagon categorically deny the characterization of these events and say that the central allegations are false, while the president has posted lengthy Truth Social rants about how the reporters involved are treasonous. Now, this comes as the president said the United States had effectively unlimited amounts of some weapons before then conceding, quote, some things were getting low on. He also said defense companies were expanding production of Patriot and Tomahawk missiles. So now the administration's message appears to be, if I'm keeping up, there's no weapon shortage. The reports of weapon shortage are fake. We are furious about people leaking information about the said weapon shortage. And yes, some of the weapons are running low and we're replenishing them, okay?
Trump cancels strike on Iran, says that a deal is imminent. I think by my count, Dr. Paul, this is about 41 times that he has said that. We're talking with Iran. A deal is imminent. It's just around the corner. And so claims that this deal is imminent are also about as phony as his claims that Iran asked him to not bomb them. So the problem is he's got a huge credibility gap, Dr. Paul. People just don't believe him anymore.
So many of these promises right now aren't fulfilled. So it builds animosity because if you're spreading lies and innuendos that all of a sudden we do this and we put on a tariff here and we, if we bomb this country, everything will be okay. Just look at it. The people now have a very, very healthy skepticism about what the government's doing, especially believing what the government tells us.
Yeah.
But the thing is, long before this NBC report, long before Trump's reported angry phone call, long before the Pentagon allegedly convened a crisis meeting, almost from around the beginning of the Iran war, military analysts and defense officials were warning that the United States was consuming sophisticated munitions at a rate that could not easily be sustained. By late April, US officials were already warning that the war had consumed such enormous quantities of long-range strike weapons and missile interceptors that contingency planning for another major conflict be affected. And now, months later, this NBC report claims that the president was enraged to learn how serious the problem remained. Now, of course, nobody is saying that the United States doesn't retain an enormous amount of military capability. What should be doubted is Trump's ever-evolving narrative on the war, and questions deserve to be asked.
But they have to deal with reality, and so does the administration. because the Iranians are, and the Gulf allies are, and the Houthis now want in, and there are multiple problems. I'm uncomfortable talking about munitions because that should be classified. The Iranians, they've got a death wish, and when the president says he has patience, so do they. They'll wait this out. They don't care about paying for their people. They don't care about their people at all.
You don't think that after going through months of this, having to go after Iran over and over again when it was billed as maybe just a few weeks, hasn't depleted our munitions, and that China isn't looking at Taiwan?
Trey, I don't get it. We hear there's friendly negotiations going on, but is Iran saying they're not talking at all? That they'll just keep a ceasefire going as long as we don't hit them.
And Trey, if the Iranians are serious about, let's make a deal, why would the Iran state-linked media put out that very disturbing propaganda video about the president and his family yesterday?
But Mr. President, stop telling everybody what you're going to do and just do it. And then tell the American people, all of us who want to be supportive, what is our objective? What's the strategy? And then go execute.
We're talking about a Chinese company that is reportedly going to provide Iran with at least 400 shoulder-fired missiles over land. And these are missiles, man-pads that are used to shoot down helicopters and jets. The same type of missile that shot down that U.S. plane earlier this year over southwestern Iran.
I just think the you hit us, we hit you is just the worst kind of scenario because what do we have, 96 days to the midterms. Iran's goal, they know our political process, is for Donald Trump's party to pay a political price.
And Ned, when you're looking at these polls that came out today, there's a huge dissatisfaction with the war in Iran. I mean, it is overwhelmingly considered a negative drag on the U.S. economy and just not worth it.
I don't think it's more sophisticated weapons. I think they got more sophisticated targets, and that's Russia. There's no way Russia is not giving them the targets to locate our assets in Egypt. Well, so it's the same drones, cheap drones, but they're more accurate in their targeting.
And the problem here is that after 5 months, all those contradictions from the Trump administration, they're accumulating faster than he can explain them, which is why he's getting frustrated. Iran is decimated, but Iran keeps attacking. The war will end quickly, but the war is now entering its 6th month. A deal is days away. Repeated negotiations seem to fail. And American stockpiles are fine, but Trump admits some things were getting low. Now he's out here threatening people because of a story that calls into question his war narrative. But this is what happens when you lie at this rate. It's why voters appear increasingly unconvinced.
A new poll out this morning shows about 2/3 of the American people say the war has not been worthwhile, and that includes nearly 4 in 10 Republicans.
A recent AP poll found that just 34% approve of Trump's handling of Iran in June, with his overall approval at 37%. By late July, Reuters Ipsos found war support at roughly 1/3, its lowest reading since the early stages of the conflict. And the broader political environment has only deteriorated since then, right? Trump is dealing with weak economic numbers. Americans are angry about costs. Gas prices have become very much connected to the Iran conflict.
Is this how you expected the second Trump term to go?
No, not at all. I hoped it was going to be so much better.
He also promised no new foreign wars. We're obviously in this war in Iran, which is why we're seeing the gas prices so high. What do you make of the president not keeping those campaign promises?
He just told us what we wanted to hear to vote him back in.
What would your message be to him about the economy right now, about prices, about day-to-day life?
I would tell him, you promised us you would lower prices, bring back what it used to be.
I was hoping that gas was going to go down so I could do something, You can't do anything with gas prices, and you just can't. You can't afford to breathe at this point.
Are you regretting your vote right now?
I have the past 2 years, yeah. I have. I'm actually not even voting the next time.
The point that Republicans are nervous that all of this is going to influence their chances in November.
If I don't run, will those people go out and vote? Because a lot of them are very angry at Republicans, to be honest with you. They're angry at I don't know. I mean, they're angry at Republicans, but they're not angry at me.
That's an interesting thing. Why?
They're not angry at me, but they are angry at Republicans.
As soon as he said that, I thought of you.
Yes.
Okay. How true is it? Are they angry at Republicans but not him?
He's full of it. The president's full of it. I mean, that's just the bottom line. 43% of them in an average of polls are choosing the Republicans for the House. The Republicans for the House are outrunning President Trump. His approval rating is just 37% in an average of polls. They're outrunning him by 6 points. Among independents, the spread's even wider. I have it as a little nugget down there. The House Republicans are outrunning Donald Trump by 9 points, although they're both doing poorly. But the bottom line is this. When Donald Trump says that voters are angry at Republicans, not him, that, simply put, is not the case looking at the data. Voters who want congressional Republicans to do more to stand up to Trump or work with Trump. 56% say more to stand up to Trump. That's what they want congressional Republicans to do, compared to just 35% who say they want congressional Republicans to work more with them. As I said at the top here, what we're dealing with is Republicans are getting dragged down by Donald Trump, not the other way around. And indeed, among independents, what we're seeing is 65% they want them to say they want congressional Republicans to do to stand up to Trump.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.